So Derek, I have an honest question that I do not know the answer to.
What's that?
The new Disney's Jungle Book,
Yeah.
is it live action or animated?
Hello everybody and welcome to The Dialogue, where movies are more than mindless entertainment. I'm Derek and this is Andrew, and today we're reviewing The Jungle Book. This is a movie that is a firmly held classic in many households, and we're coming back and revisiting this movie with a newer iteration of that. This iteration kind of follows a little bit differently than the previous one, but
It's the same story. I mean, it's the same story.
It's the same story.
It's a guy. It's a little kid.
You can't really derail it.
In the jungle.
Yeah, it follows to the classic story really well. I mean, it doesn't really change anything that you'd be like, oh, where's the bare necessities? I want the bare necessities. It's in there, we got it. So this movie is basically just that classic story retold from a more realistic perspective.
Yeah, I really don't know what to make about Disney redoing films and why they're redoing them. I have a feeling that
scraping the bottom of the barrel on these.
Well, see, I don't know if I would say that. I don't know how to say that, but there is something to be said there. This movie, so The Jungle Book, the new 2000. So the original was made in 1967. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. When I say love, I mean I think back to songs that I would play over and over. Specifically the King Louis song with hand trumpet. My goodness, guys. And Baloo just busting up in there. I could watch it all day. I probably did at one point in my life.
It's a classic in your heart.
Yeah. So this movie pays a lot of homage to the nostalgic 1967 movie. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I loved it. You mentioned kind of more live. I'm not going to say grittier tone, although the animals are CG realistic-ish, and they're big. These things are big, intentionally so. So it kind of tries to draw us into this world. This is another thing that kind of gripped me. It gripped me from the trailers, and it still gripped me in the movie. Although I was expecting it, so it was a little bit, more of the little spoiled there. But that was, I enjoyed that. Watching it in 3D. 3D was okay. Mm-hmm. I will say though that the themes, I actually kind of liked them bringing out certain themes. Although overall, the movie tone and themes seem to be more directed toward the younger audience. This is not necessarily, this is not a black mark on the movie or anything, but we talked about this. The old Disney movies were just sublime in creating just a piece of art they gave to you, and the whole family could enjoy. Adults would look at it and see certain things. Young kids would see it, love certain things about it, and everybody could just intake it. This is not so much that way, I felt.
Okay.
In my opinion. So, a little bit more fluffy.
Yeah. Something that I kind of feel about this movie, and I feel this way specifically about like a couple of movies that are kind of based on books, is that this definitely has kind of a book feel to it. It feels like, and the original did too, it feels like it's a bunch of small stories, short stories inside like this larger movie. So you have the interaction with the wolves at the beginning, and then it's like it takes another turn towards something else. And then you have King Louis, and it's like that's its own thing. And so there's like these multiple aspects to the movie where it's like they could be their own little short stories. Like, oh, he had this interaction. There's a lesson to be learned here, a moral here. Yeah,
a little bit. The original was almost just that.
Yeah.
Like that's what the original was.
With the animation.
Yeah.
But this does kind of that a little bit, but it does have like this overarching story. As you mentioned before in conversation, there's like a lot about basically coming together as a team. But then there's also, I think, personally, from my understanding, like this theme of basically man taking care of, I think, like creation, but like of basically what the world has, like animals and the jungle and things like that.
Man's part in the world.
Yeah, and so I really like that theme. You can let me know what you thought about that. But another thing that I just wanted to mention real quick is the CGI at the beginning of the movie, it's like opening up, and it's like, oh, it's like original animation.
Yeah.
And then it like zooms out, and it's supposed to be the animation turning into real, like a real jungle, but it's animation turning into more animation. It's animation turning into CGI. And I was like, we've got an updated animated movie, guys. Yes! But that's just my personal opinion on that. I think that there's too much CGI, but I do like it from an artistic perspective. So kudos to them. It was a lot of hard work, and it looked good, but it was just too much for me in that aspect. But
yeah, it is what it is, and I mean, you could call it a live. You can't really call it a live action. You can't. I don't know what it is.
It's its own thing.
It's 2% live action. Other great animators, great animators do
88%. Everything else.
Computers, like everything else in this world.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That kid had to do a lot of green screen acting.
Yeah.
So props to him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like some of it showed. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, so, alright. I had to put a number on this movie, don't I?
Yes.
So, I just wanted to tell you guys before I slap a number down, which I have no idea what I'm going to give this movie. But I do know that I want to be more, not strict, but I want to care more about the number.
Be intentional.
And instead of like saying something like a movie is, I feel like in my mind sometimes I can be like a movie is automatically a 10, and then okay, well some negative things happen so that brings it down. Mm-hmm. And maybe you could say movie is automatically a 1, and then good stuff. And I want to maybe try to do more of that, but just I don't know. I want to say 6. I want to give this movie I think a 6, and I may lean toward a 7.
All right.
Can I just leave it at that?
Yeah.
Can I just leave it at that?
I'm gonna hit it up with a 6 as well.
Okay.
It
makes me feel better.
I feel.
I respect your opinion.
I like the movie. It's not anything that I feel like I'm like, man, this was like good. Like I'm gonna have to buy that as soon as that comes out. Mm-hmm. It was just it was a good movie. It wasn't bad. It was good.
Right. And it's definitely good if you're looking for entertainment that you can take the whole family to, because there's not necessarily a lot of that out today, depending on
there are
how
some
younger
scenes
kids
that might
are.
be a little bit scary for younger kids, but it was good.
I had a jump scare. I jumped.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, thank you for joining today's conversation on the Jungle Book review. If you want to make sure you don't miss future conversations, then you should hit that little subscribe button and subscribe to the dialogue. All right? So do that. Let us know anything that you want to let us know in the comments. And as always, join us next time on the dialogue.